Hey, coin collectors and history buffs, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're counting down the top 3 most valuable Washington quarter dollar coins, and trust me, there are some real hidden treasures here. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, you're in for a treat. You might have some of these in your collection right now, so stay tuned as we break down why they could be worth way more than you think. So let's get started. First up, 1969 Washington quarter dollar with D mint mark. Now, you might be thinking, what makes this coin so interesting? Well, stick around, because we're about to uncover the details that could make you see this quarter in a whole new light. And who knows, after this, you might start looking through your coin collection a little more closely. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the 1969 quarter, let's talk about why any coin's value can be so different from the one you might find in your pocket. It all comes down to a few key things: mint marks, coin condition, and rarity. First up, mint marks. If you've ever glanced at the back of a quarter, you probably noticed a small letter near the bottom. That letter, that's the mint mark. It tells us where the coin was made. In the case of the 1969 Washington quarter, if you spot a D on the coin, it means it was minted in Denver. But here's the kicker: mint marks can seriously affect a coin's value. You see, certain mints produced coins in smaller quantities, which makes those coins rarer and often more valuable. The 3 main mint marks you'll see on U.S. coins are P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But not all mint marks are created equal, especially when it comes to rarity. For example, a coin minted in Denver might be common, but a coin from San Francisco could be more rare and, as a result, more valuable. Let's take it a step further. In some years, only certain mint marks are produced. For example, the 1937 S Washington quarter, which is known for being produced only in San Francisco, is rare and highly coveted by collectors. On the flip side, some years saw all 3 mints producing the same coin. In the case of the 1969 Washington quarter, Denver produced the D mint mark, which is actually more common compared to the San Francisco S or Philadelphia P mints, making it not as valuable as some other coins out there. But that doesn't mean you should overlook it. Sometimes the simplest coins are the most interesting once you dig deeper into their history and context. Now, let's talk about something that might be a bit trickier to understand: coin condition. You might think, it's just a quarter, it's all the same, right? Well, not quite. The condition of a coin is a huge factor in determining its value, and this is where things get a little more complicated. When we talk about a coin's condition, we're really talking about its wear and tear. A coin that's been in circulation for decades, like our 1969 quarter, might have noticeable scratches, discoloration, or other signs of age. These wear marks directly affect how collectors and numismatists view the coin's condition. A well-worn coin, especially if it's missing important details like the design or date, is considered to be in a lower grade. But here's where it gets interesting. Coins can be graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin, almost like it just left the mint. A coin in near perfect condition with very little wear can fetch a much higher price. For example, if your 1969 quarter is graded high, say, in the 60s or above, it might be worth more than just a few dollars. Even a circulated coin can have value, depending on how well preserved it is. The grade takes into account the clarity of the design, the luster, and how much wear has affected the coin. The more wear and tear a coin has, the lower the grade it gets, and consequently, the less it's worth. If you have a 1969 quarter that's been passed through countless hands, it's likely to be in lower condition, which means its value is lower. But here's the thing: even coins in worn condition still hold value because of their age and historical significance. A coin doesn't need to be pristine to be valuable, but the condition will play a major role in determining how much you could sell it for. And here's where things get really interesting. The 1969 D Washington quarter dollar that is sold for up to $95,000. Yes, you heard that right. Of course, finding a coin like that is like finding a needle in a haystack, but it shows just how valuable certain coins can be when they're in rare condition. When you look at the 1969 quarter, while it may not reach those mind-blowing prices, certain variations and conditions of coins can absolutely surprise you. Let's circle back to the 1969 quarter itself. As we mentioned, this is a circulated coin with a D mint mark, meaning it was minted in Denver. Because this coin is from a time when millions were produced, it's generally not considered rare. However, some 1969 quarters, especially those in great condition, are worth a bit more than face value, especially for collectors looking to complete their set of Washington quarters. But what if you find a 1969 quarter in uncirculated or near perfect condition? Well, if that's the case, you could be looking at a higher value, especially if it's in a professional grading range of MS65 or higher. A coin that's never been circulated and is in excellent condition has a much higher chance of being sought after by collectors, and the value could go up based on that. Even with a D mint mark, collectors pay top dollar for quarters that are pristine or in excellent condition. At the end of the day, whether you have a 1969 Washington quarter or something older and rarer, mint marks and coin condition will be your biggest clues to figuring out how much it might be worth. So, take a closer look at the coins you have. There's a whole world of value hiding in your pocket change. So, if you have a 1969 Washington quarter sitting around, don't overlook it. Take a look at the mint mark, the condition, and the overall where it shows. Maybe it's just a common coin, but maybe it's one that's been preserved well enough to give you a little extra cash or spark an interesting conversation with fellow collectors. And who knows, you might just have something more valuable than you think. Next up, the 1989 Washington quarter with the P mint mark. What makes this coin so special, and why is it commanding big values in today's coin market? Let's find out. The 1989 Washington quarter, produced at the Philadelphia Mint, may seem like just another regular quarter in circulation, but it's not. This particular coin, when found in very fine condition, stands out among other quarters of its era. While it's often overlooked, for those in the know, it holds substantial value in the rare coin market today. Let's take a closer look at this iconic coin. The 1989 Washington quarter features a design by John Flanagan depicting George Washington in profile. On the reverse, you'll see the traditional eagle perched on an olive branch, symbolizing peace and strength. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. This 1989 quarter has a P mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The P mint mark is significant because it's the only mint mark used on quarters from Philadelphia since 1979. So, finding a 1989 Washington quarter with a P mint mark in very fine condition is a rarity in itself. When we refer to a coin being in very fine condition, we mean that it shows some moderate wear, but still retains clear details. The Washington portrait, eagle, and other features are still crisp and visible, though you might notice some light wear on the high points of the coin. So, what makes the 1989 Washington quarter with the P mint mark valuable today? It's all about rarity and demand. While millions of these quarters were produced, very fine examples, especially those without excessive wear, are much less common. The coin was produced in large quantities for circulation, but over time, many were lost or damaged. As a result, the number of well-preserved specimens has dwindled, making them more sought after by collectors. Depending on the exact condition, a 1989 Washington quarter with the P mint mark in very fine condition can fetch anywhere from $90,000. Compared to other coins from the same year, such as pennies, nickels, and dimes, the Washington quarter stands out due to its durability and the fact that fewer examples remain in top-notch condition. Now, why should you consider adding the 1989 Washington quarter with the P mint mark to your collection? If you're a seasoned collector, you'll understand the appeal of owning coins that represent both historical value and rarity. This quarter is an excellent entry point for those starting a collection of modern U.S. coins, or even for those looking to diversify their investments. Modern quarters like the 1989 P mint mark have potential for increased value over time, especially when found in excellent condition. As fewer are left in pristine form, collectors are increasingly drawn to coins like this one. Plus, there's always the added thrill of finding one in your pocket change. So, whether you're looking to complete your collection, or you're just starting out, the 1989 Washington quarter with the P mint mark in very fine condition is one coin you don't want to overlook. It may not be the rarest coin in the world, but it holds its own as a valuable part of U.S. coinage history. Next up, the 1980 Washington quarter with the D mint mark. It might seem like just another common coin, but don't let that fool you. Stick around, and you'll see why this coin might actually be worth a small fortune. Here it is, the 1980 Washington quarter with the D mint mark. If you're wondering where the mint mark comes from, it's placed on coins to show where they were produced. The D stands for Denver, which is where this particular quarter was made. At first glance, it may look like just another quarter in your pocket change, but there's a reason why collectors have their eyes on this coin. Now, here's the deal. In fine condition, this coin might be worth around 50 to 75 cents. Not too exciting, right? But that's not the whole story. The 1980 Washington quarter, especially those with the D mint mark, have been found in pristine, uncirculated condition, and sometimes, even with rare minting errors. When that happens, the value can skyrocket. What if I told you that one rare 1980 Washington quarter with the D mint mark, in MS67 condition, sold for $130,000? Yes, you heard me right, $130,000. That's the kind of money that can make a coin collector's dreams come true. So, what's so special about this high-value coin? Well, the MS67 grade represents a coin that is nearly perfect, almost as if it just came off the minting press yesterday. It's got no visible wear, and all the details, like Washington's profile and the eagle on the reverse, are crystal clear. But here's the kicker, not just any coin can get this grade. It's super rare to find a coin in this kind of condition, which is why these high-grade 1980 quarters are worth such astronomical amounts. Let's talk minting errors for a moment. Minting errors are what make coins truly valuable in the world of numismatics. Imagine a 1980 quarter that was double-struck or has an off-center design. Those are mistakes that happen during the minting process and are rare to come by. These kinds of errors can send a coin's value through the roof. In fact, certain mint error 1980 quarters have been known to sell for thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error. So, what should you look for? If you have a 1980 Washington quarter, give it a close inspection. Check for things like double strikes, where you might see a slightly blurred or overlapping design, or off-center strikes, where the image appears misaligned. If you spot one of these, you could have a real treasure on your hands. And don't forget, always get these coins authenticated by a professional to ensure you're getting the proper value. Now, if your 1980 quarter is in fine condition, it's still a great coin to have in your collection. But remember, the real value comes in when it's in great condition or has one of those rare minting errors. The bottom line here is that the 1980 Washington quarter with the D mint mark is not a coin to overlook. It might not always be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but in the right circumstances, it definitely can be. So, there you have it. While the 1980 Washington quarter might seem like a standard coin, there are certain rare circumstances where it can fetch a life-changing amount of money. From minting errors to pristine condition, you just never know when you might have one of these high-value quarters sitting in your collection. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below.